Okay, this is episode 3. Threeses, right? What's the 3 version of deuces?
Thrice?
Thrice? No, that sounds lamer though.
I
Right?
guess.
Like when people put down 2 fingers and say deuces.
Threes? I don't.
Thrice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Like thrice. Just
Yep.
doesn't sound like the same thing.
Threes? I don't know.
Thrice. I think thrice. You're right, probably right for thrice. At the time of this what you're seeing now, I don't know what you're seeing now because I've pretty much exhausted pretty much every like squeeze of everything of like gameplay for episode 2. In fact, I'm still editing episode 2, so who knows when this is gonna come out.
Yep.
But like I still got like 10 more minutes I have to kind of fill up with gameplay, but I don't know what I'm gonna pull up. Probably gonna be something in the intro about like me not having. Oh, let me just set a timer for like an hour and a half, just so.
Yeah, we're not going.
Yeah, we're not going too long. Let me just like I want to.
Well, I already have a alarm that's set to go off at 11 o'clock.
Well, okay, that's gonna be that's. I'm gonna set a timer for an hour and a half because that's
All right.
That seems like all right. So what we're talking about today is something I guess a little bit more off the cuff, a little bit more shall you say
Loose and flowing and
yeah. Talking about Power Rangers continuity.
Yep, the beautiful mess that is Power Rangers continuity.
You know how like something is usually supposed to be like straightforward and simple. Yeah, those are like a jump. Power Rangers puts a giant hole punches in everything. At least it's not Sentai. I'll give Power Rangers that. They've been more consistent than Super Sentai has ever been.
Yeah.
So much so that there's like a recurring fan theory that, every Sentai has its own universe, except when it comes to the versus movies and Gokaiger and Zenkaiger.
Which actually is even worse because I'm pretty sure there are several Sentai movies that like were like.
Well, they're talking about I'm talking about like also the movies themselves.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I think there are like been occasions where it's like even when they're not teaming up with other teams, where like the specials / movies are confirmed to take place in a separate continuity than the main show.
Well, they're not like outright confirmed. It's like it's mostly like up to fans, and like sometimes they are whatever. It's confusing. Sentai continuity is not.
Yeah,
we're not here to discuss that. We're going to discuss that maybe like when we're smart enough to understand Rick and Morty, but is that joke still relevant? Can we make that joke? Or has that been beaten to the ground?
I have no idea.
That was like
So
yeah, go ahead.
So I would say the first thing to get out of the way is the simple acknowledgement that Power Rangers continuity, unless you want to factor in time travel, because factoring time travel, that's a whole separate mess that will probably get touched on later.
Yeah, we're not touching time travel. We're not dealing with Dino Charge ending or Time Force, whether Alex was the same the whole time or whatever. That's like,
yeah,
we're not touching
even
that.
Forgetting about, as long as we don't touch time travel, it's pretty easy. Power Rangers continuity is very, very simple from seasons 1 through 7. Or actually, no, it's not. I just realized it isn't. I was going to say seasons 1 through 7, are an easily understood continuous story. But then I remembered the second half of season 3 exists.
Oh yeah, you forgot about Alien Rangers, dude. Yeah,
Yep.
how dare you?
Because
Well, okay, before we say anything, the main show is canon to
yes.
everything. The main 3 universes are they're canon. The main timeline,
It seems like they're,
Dino
as
Charge and
the way
RPM.
things are going, it seems more like there are 3.5 universes, because the more time goes on, it really does seem like SPD is becoming its own sort of universe.
We're not talking about that until like 2 years from now. I don't want to touch that until 2025.
Yeah, when the show actually takes place.
If the show lasts that long.
That's true.
That's
They were getting actually really close. I could possibly buy, if they threw more aliens in, that Beast Morphers could lead in theoretically to SPD, but they weren't really leaning in that direction. But let's get there when we get there.
Yeah, Beast Morphers is a weird case. Like, some people say it takes place before SPD. Some people says it takes place after. Beast Morphers is kind of an enigma because we don't really know where, like, that's like the one season that that's like weird timeline wise, right? Like, it's not like stated like when or where or how.
Yeah, especially because they have like a lot of the stuff they have in there. It's cool that they have all the whole Ranger Vault references, but some of the objects in there just open up giant continuity issues, or questionable, like, how did this work? But let's save that for maybe just a discussion on Beast Morphers itself, maybe either at the end of this or as its completely own video.
Well, we're probably like, in terms of like direct seasonal, like, yeah, maybe as it's completely its own video. Maybe if we like decide to like do like season by season reviews, maybe.
That'd be cool. It would definitely, though, is a little more of a commitment that I'm willing to make as of right now.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying like I don't know.
I would love to do it eventually.
Right, obviously. Some things down the pipeline that they're for sure down the pipeline, though. I guess I'm just gonna take a little tangent because you were talking about something. We want to do, I guess, a morality chart, you said, for Ranger character?
Yeah, we want to do a rating of using the D&D alignment chart system of the axes of lawful, neutral, chaotic, and good, neutral, evil setting.
And something else we want to do down the line, which that we want to try to, I guess, review every legendary team up episode in one sort of discussion, but like we give like 5 minutes for each team up, and then we just, all right, next we're going to talk about the next. I don't know. That's something that we've discussed. I guess just look forward to those in the future. But yeah, I guess maybe we can talk about Beast Morphers a little bit. I just don't want to I don't want the entire conversation to be about
that's why I said that's why I said we should leave it for the end, if anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess let's talk about external media. And
so, just to finally clarify, in the show, there are 3 main timelines.
Universes.
Yeah, 3 main universe slots. There is the main universe, in which seasons pretty much Mighty Morphin through Jungle Fury, possibly also including Mighty Morphin through Jungle Fury, Samurai, Megaforce, not
Dino Charge,
Ninja Steel, and Beast Morphers, we think, and Dino Fury all take place, unless
like Dino Fury and Ninja Steel like kind of double confirmed.
Yeah,
like kind of like super. Yeah, no, this is what we're going with.
Yeah.
type thing. Um,
There is the first confirmed secondary universe, which is the universe that RPM takes place in.
right.
And then pretty much there is the third universe in which Dino Charge took place in, which is honestly just, there was no real reason for it until the fact that at the end, I mean, you maybe could say that there was a reason for it because of how it started, because of the thing with the asteroids, but even so, that's
No,
one
you
of
could
those
have you could have retconned that away to be like,
just being hand waved.
yeah,
But what happens in the end is like, was just so ridiculous that some guy that they realized, yeah, maybe let's throw this into its own universe.
yeah, and that was like, yeah, it didn't. Whatever. I don't mind the Dino Charge ending like most people do. I like most people like kind of hate it. I get why they hate it, because whatever, I think it's okay, especially for what they were kind of trying to do. But like, it does annoy me. um, but like not as much as it does everyone else.
My feelings are just like, what? Like it's just like a black hole is really the best description of that ending, because it's just like something you stare at and it's like, okay.
Look, it's not good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that it in terms of like it's not that bad. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying it is. Yeah, I mean, everyone dies. Spoiler alert: the Dino Charge has the most death count for Power Rangers for a Power Rangers season.
Yep.
Even more than RPM.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
let's be honest. It's hand waved a little bit, but
the literal entire planet gets sucked into a black hole.
There's no sort of, and when people come out, when Sledge comes on the other side, a bunch of rocks and debris goes like, oh, where those rocks and debris come from?
Yeah, and it's like, when you consider, let's not forget that like there are a myriad of other sentient species living on Earth aside for just humans. Like, because we don't know, like, even if we assume that like the diversity of existence is the same between the RPM universe and the main universe, like I have a hard time believing that Vengex managed to get to the mermaids very easily.
Right.
Yes, people often forget there is canonically a civilization of mermaids living off of the east coast of America, the west coast of America.
Yeah, and that wasn't MMPR, that was Lightspeed.
Yep.
That was like I kind of love how Blue's entire like arc is that he wants to date a mermaid.
Yep.
That's like his only arc.
Yeah. Then again, to be honest, Lightspeed, and this is something we're gonna get a little bit more on. Like, strangely enough, we're gonna talk on a little bit on the alignment chart thing somehow. But even though Lightspeed benefits from the later character development levels of the post Zordon era, a lot of the characters in that, I'd say Lightspeed is probably the weakest of seasons in terms of character development for the main set of Rangers.
Well, not to get too continue too much off topic, but I guess Lightspeed was like kind of just a return to form and a sort of, this is new status quo, but we want to sort of like, we don't want things to be a little too heavy-handed, so we'll
dial everything back.
We'll like make the characters a little bit more simpler. And I mean, I'm not saying the show didn't evolve. The show did evolve, because there is concepts of loss and stuff a little bit more nuanced than Like,
Yeah.
I think like Joel's character would not exist in the early years.
Oh yeah, and he's actually one of the best he is honestly one of the best examples of character development in that season.
Right.
In fact, I think he might be argued that aside for maybe Ryan, he is the only Ranger that really gets a decent amount of character development.
Probably. All right, let's keep on track.
The actual issue at hand.
Yeah, I always kind of, when it comes to RPM, I always kind of just kind of assumed that kind of literally everything Power Rangers happened, and then the Vengex virus attacked. You know, that was like then Vengex attacked. Like, I kind of assumed that like, oh, it was normal Power Rangers universe, like literally everything until Jungle Fury happened. Or I mean, I guess SPD, you kind of question like, oh, what, and you know, when was that? When did that happen? But like, I kind of like, whatever. There was a point where Power Rangers happened, like from like, you know, Mighty Morphin till Jungle Fury, and then Vengex was a thing.
So I think it was implied at the beginning for that, but I would
It's never directly stated though. That's the thing. It's
correct. I would actually, to be honest, I would think not. I think somewhere it's actually implied that the RPM are the first rate, the RPM Rangers are the first on the planet, but you know, who knows? That's always a debatable question, but I think certain seasons of Power Rangers could have happened. I think one thing that might be clear though is I don't think this planet had a Zordon. Like I think a lot of the Zordon related stuff didn't happen because RPM just seems to be a lot more isolated than like most other planets, or than Earth tends to be. Like there doesn't seem to be any alien presence.
well, it could just be like at that point, like everything was cut off.
Yeah, but what I mean is I think it would make sense that if one of the major differences between RPM's universe and the main one is that Zordon never stationed himself on Earth, or maybe Rita doesn't exist in this timeline. Because I think like from everything that we see, I think it would actually make sense that the entire Zordon era just never happened. Certain other seasons I think do make sense. I think some equivalent to Lightspeed having happened makes sense. Time Force probably as well. Dino
Thunder couldn't have happened. The Dino Thunder couldn't have happened.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Dino Thunder would have happened.
I'm saying according to that logic, which I whatever, I would disagree, but yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think certain also it is implied because we do see when we do actually see a Operation Overdrive helmet, though that might actually be an implication that Hartford might have actually been part of Alphabet Soup in this timeline, which is an interesting theory, an interesting idea.
Woo! All right, yeah.
Though I do have to wonder what his personality would be like if he was in that organization. Like what does a dark, slightly twisted Mr. Hartford look like?
Like the people who are like literally any normal billionaire nowadays.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human.
Yeah.
Social commentary, everyone.
Yeah. Was probably working on a rocket of some sort.
Okay.